Hey everyone. Veerabhadra is a fierce form of Lord Shiva created from his rage after the death of his consort Sati. When Sati immolated herself due to her father Daksha's insult to Shiva, the furious god created Veerabhadra to destroy Daksha's yajna and punish the wrongdoers. Known for his terrifying appearance and immense power, Veerabhadra symbolizes divine anger, justice, and protection. Today, let's know about the vigorous fighter and fierce avatar of Shiva, Lord Veerabhadra. Let's start the video, but before that, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. The word Veerabhadra is derived from two Sanskrit words, Veera meaning hero and Bhadra which means friend. In his tamasic or fierce form, he carries 4 different weapons in his 8 hands and wears a garland of skulls as his attire. Goddess Sati, the youngest daughter of Daksha Prajapati, had always set her heart on Lord Shiva and wished to marry him since childhood. However, Daksha disapproved of Mahadeva. He believed that Shiva was unlike the other gods, dressed in tiger skin, adorned with snakes, and consuming bhang and dhatura. Despite her father's disapproval, Sati went ahead and married Shiva. Daksha held a grand yajna and invited all his 33 daughters and sons-in-law along with other gods like Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and the great rishis. However, he deliberately excluded Lord Shiva and Sati from the invitation. When Sati learned that her father had invited everyone from the Devaloka except her and her beloved husband, she was heartbroken and wept in agony. She pleaded with Shiva to let her attend the yajna. Though initially hesitant, the compassionate Lord Shiva finally allowed her to go, asking her to return quickly. Sati went to the yajna and questioned her parents about why she and her husband had not been invited. Daksha insulted Lord Shiva in every possible way. Sati could not bear to hear such demeaning and ignorant words spoken about her beloved consort. Overwhelmed with sorrow and rage, she threw herself into the yajna fire and ended her life. The divine sage Narad Muni rushed to inform Lord Shiva about Daksha's insult and Sati's tragic self-immolation. Upon hearing the tragic news, Mahadev was consumed by fury and let out a thunderous roar. From his matted locks, he created 2 fierce forms, Veerabhadra and Bhadrakali. Veerabhadra was born to destroy Daksha and annihilate his army. Veerabhadra appeared so ferocious that his height reached the heavens. His complexion was as dark as storm clouds. He had multiple arms carrying terrifying weapons, and he wore a garland of skulls. Veerabhadra and Bhadrakali were created as fierce embodiments of Shiva and Shakti's combined energy. Lord Shiva commanded Veerabhadra to take his army and destroy Daksha. Obeying his master's order, Veerabhadra marched to Daksha's yajna with a host of fierce warriors. As the battle began, he began severing the heads of Daksha's soldiers, and even the limbs of other gods and rishis were broken in the fierce onslaught. As mentioned in the Skanda Purana, Lord Vishnu once hurled the Sudarshan Chakra at Veerabhadra to stop him. He was so powerful that he swallowed the mighty Sudarshan Chakra with ease. Lord Shiva could not bear the grief of losing Sati. He lifted her lifeless body from the yajna and began wandering across the universe, carrying on his back, completely neglecting his divine duties and responsibilities. After the massive destruction at the yajna, all the gods and rishis approached Lord Brahma for help. Lord Brahma reminded that Shiva is the ultimate creator and sustainer of the universe and advised them to seek peace and reconciliation with him. He then went to Mount Kailash and humbly pleaded with Lord Shiva to forgive Daksha and restore the broken limbs of the gods and rishis. Both Vishnu and Brahma knew that the incomplete yagna needed to be completed to restore cosmic balance. They went to Mount Kailash, where Lord Brahma pleaded to Lord Shiva. The compassionate Mahadev, moved by the sorrow of Prasuti, that is Daksha's consort, and agreed to it. He revived Daksha by replacing his burnt head with that of a goat. Shiva also restored the broken limbs of the gods and rishis to their original form. At last, Shiva calmed down and permitted the completion of the yagna. Daksha, realizing his ignorance and arrogance, felt deep remorse and humbly invited Lord Shiva to complete the yagna. In the presence of all the gods and Lord Shiva himself, the ritual was finally performed. From that day forward, Daksha became a devoted follower of Lord Shiva, honoring him with utmost reverence. Located in Lepakshi village, Andhra Pradesh, the 16th century temple was built in Vijayanagara style by brothers Virupanna Nayaka and Veeranna during King Achyutaraya's reign. About 200 meters from the temple stands a massive Nandi, the Shiva's mount. This story of Daksh Yagna and creation of Veerabhadra is not just a tale of divine wrath, but a profound lesson on ego, devotion, and cosmic balance. It reminds us that harmony is restored only when the heart and the higher self transcend the limitations of the ego. Well, that's it for today. I hope you're liking Nerdies Discoveries. If this story sparked your curiosity, subscribe and keep exploring. May wisdom guide your path always. See you in the next. Bye.